welcome to episode number 79 of my POA podcast, Black Hand and Beyond. Tonight we have a special guest that will be joining us in a minute, Campbell Cornelius from Indiana. Of course, her pony, Suddenly Scotty, was the high point pony in the nation this year, so it's been a tradition. This will be the third year. We've only been doing the podcast for 4 years. This is the third year that we've had the high point person that rode the High Point pony. So this year, like I say, it happens to be Campbell Cornelius from Indiana and her pony Suddenly Scotty. We'll be talking about her pony and a lot of other things, some of the things classes she enjoys in POAs and different things. Of course, like most POA kids, she's very busy with sports and other activities too. So we do have a sponsor tonight. Bruns Performance Horses from Iowa is our sponsor, and there they are on Facebook. There, some pictures. We'll be talking a little bit after the interview with Campbell about Bruns Performance Horses and some of their clients they want to thank. And of course, there's Sammy's son Stetson. He'd be fourth generation. That's him high-fiving a judge there. So now we're going to bring on our special guest tonight. We have some people watching already. Hello, Campbell. How you doing?
Hi, I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. So I really like your name. Campbell is a very cool name. So
yeah, thank you.
I guess you got to thank your mom and dad for that. So
yeah, it was my great grandma's last name.
Was it really? Okay.
Yeah.
You know, there was a lot of Campbells in POAs. There was a lot of Campbells, probably 4 or 5 different families over the years. And Bud from Rochester, Minnesota, Bud and Birdie, his real name was Lowell, but his nickname was Bud. And he always said Campbell on purpose. You know, he just said that because that's how it's spelled. So he always said that. He was quite a character in POAs, and a lot of people watching tonight would remember him. So, okay, so how old are you, Campbell?
I am 14.
14. Okay, so you just wrapped up the 10 through 13
Yes,
division?
I did.
So are you in the new division this year now?
Yes,
okay.
I am.
All right. Well, that'll be all right. It's kind of a little better now that it's not all the way from 13 to 18. It used to be that way. You know, it used to be 10 to 12 or 9 to 12. So now it's a little different. So so your POA is Suddenly Scotty. Tell me a little bit about him, like how you kind of run into him and your family. I better mention your mom and dad. We kind of talked about them a little bit about your name. Megan and Kyle, right, is your mom and dad. So before we talk about Scotty, who does most of the driving?
My mom.
Your mom does? Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I just wanted to know because that's very important, you know, who's driving you to all these shows. So.
Yeah, I'm not quite old enough to drive yet.
Well, you're not quite old enough. No, I didn't know if it was your dad or your mom or if they took turns or, so that's good. So, all right, we'll go back and talk about Scotty. I got some pictures of him coming up here. So when did you meet him for the first time?
Well, we met him in July.
Oh, I think in July of 22.
Yeah, July of 22. So we went and met him from the Spoon family and in Tennessee.
Okay.
And we liked him, so we brought him home. And we got all of his tests done, and he was good, so we bought him. And then there was a show that weekend in Michigan, and we went to that show. And our very first English class, I'd never done any English with him. My mom put him in a snaffle just because we didn't know. And we asked for the canter, and he took off in that class. And I turned to my trainer, Travis Fortune, and I said, "What did you just get me to buy?" But after that small incident, we moved to a Timberwick, and it was smooth sailing from there. It was a lot better. It was like that first time, not really knowing and having to figure it out.
Well, he didn't know you, and he maybe didn't know what was going on. Yeah, and that's fine. You didn't know him, so but you guys have become a team now for sure. So.
Oh, yeah.
That's a cool story. You thought, what did we get into? Yeah.
We had only had him for 4 days, too.
4 days, yeah. How old is Scotty? Not to put you on the spot, but
he is 14.
14. I remember him and his whole family. There's all the Suddenlies, back in the day.
Yeah.
And he has some famous brothers and sisters as well. So you achieved 11,088 points this last year in 2023. That's why you're on the show tonight, because you had the High Point pony. That's a lot of points. How many states did you go to?
We went to Michigan, all the Michigan shows, all the Indiana shows, all the Ohio, a couple of Illinois, all the Tennessee shows, the Oklahoma Congress, and one Arizona trip.
One Arizona show. Okay. All right. Yeah, I seen you at Congress because I recognize, no offense, but I recognize the pony, you know.
Yeah.
And then I didn't know you were going to be high point in the nation then, but you look, you know, and I was just going
Yeah.
through some results today of the Congress. That's what my favorite show was, the Congress. So
Yeah, that was my first Congress this year.
that was
or
your first
last year.
Congress. Wow. Well,
Yep.
it's only a bright road there. Great road ahead.
Yeah.
The Congress is a fun show. It's just because everybody comes from all over. Of course, you get
Yeah.
to show against people all over. I know you enjoyed the Arizona show late in the year. Had you ever been to
Yeah.
Arizona before?
No, I hadn't, and I
No.
didn't want to leave.
You didn't want to leave. Well, maybe you'll
No.
move there someday. So it's a little
I'm
different than
hoping.
Indiana. Yeah, maybe you'll relocate there someday when you start your career. And that's what POAs is. So I'm in Oklahoma because of POAs. I grew up in Minnesota, and the only reason I'm down in Oklahoma is because of my POA contacts. So
Yep.
of course I was 40 something when I moved here. You don't have to wait that long to move to Arizona. So although a lot of people do, right? They retire in Arizona and
Yeah.
Florida, and so. I noticed also you won 5 of the classes High Point in the Nation: Western Pleasure, Hunter Under Saddle, Trail, Costume, and Senior Western Pleasure. Is that right?
Yes,
Yeah. Well, of those 5, which one do you like the best?
probably trail if it's a hard enough pattern.
Oh, okay. Do you get bored
I like the
if it's an
tricky
easy?
patterns.
Yeah. How about this ranch stuff? Are you going to get into any of that? Do you like some of that stuff?
Ranch is okay. It's just not my favorite.
It's not your favorite? Yeah.
No, I like I love the pattern classes though. Those are always my favorite.
Do you? Oh, that's cool. Well, it makes you think a little too, the pattern classes.
Yeah.
And I enjoy watching a good trail class. You're right, especially if it's not, the same
Yeah.
old thing. If there's some obstacles, they used to put really cool obstacles, but now the show ponies just got, they got pretty expensive and everything. So it's hard to
Yeah.
have a big old water ditch or something in there. The one year in Colorado, they brought in a dozer and dug a hole in the arena and filled it up full of water. And they made the kids, that was in the 70s. So
Yeah. I don't know how many of my ponies would go through that
yeah,
though.
can you imagine now? They just kind of turn and look at you like, that's all right. Let's go back to the barn. So,
Yep.
so I know you're very busy outside of POAs. You're an athlete, right? You play a bunch of
Yes.
sports.
I played volleyball, basketball, and I'm starting softball this
Okay.
month.
Is this your first year in softball, or did you play before?
No, this is I think like my 4th or 5th year now.
Oh, really? What position
Yep.
do you play in softball?
I played pitcher last year a lot, and normally it's like shortstop or second.
Okay. All right. That means you're pretty talented. They don't have you way out in the outfield. So
Yeah.
looking at the crowd. So, and then I know you're on honor roll and FETA and all that stuff. You also play volleyball and basketball, you mentioned. So
Yes,
what's
I
your
do.
favorite of the 3?
Basketball.
Is
I've
it
played
really?
that since I played that since I was in 1st or 2nd grade.
Oh, wow. That's cool. Do you go on a traveling team too, or just your
Yes.
junior high
Yeah,
team? Okay.
I used to do travel, and then I did school too.
School too, yeah, they're both important. Boy, it's tough to get all this stuff in, isn't it? Like, showing
Yes.
POAs all summer long, and of course you show
Yes.
from spring to fall, and then doing all that, you got to really balance it. So
Yep.
your mom, that's good on her too. That keeps her busy running you around.
Yeah, it does.
The day you get your license, she's gonna go, whew, she's gonna take it. Sigh of
Then I'll
relief.
be able to drive to the shows, and then she'll be able to relax some more.
Yeah, she can relax a little bit. Maybe she can join a bowling league or something. So who knows? Maybe she'll play some adult softball. So do you have any brothers or sisters?
Yeah, I have one brother. His name is Cash. He is going to be 12 this spring.
Campbell and Cash. That's not a family name, is it? Cash.
No, it's I don't even know.
Do you get along with your brother?
Most of the time.
Well, that's a good answer. That's pretty political. You might have a career in politics. That was a good answer,
Yeah.
Campbell. What's some of the other ponies you show beside? Are you showing some other young stuff or anything?
Yeah, I have a 6-year-old Z-Hidden Spectacle. I showed her in just a halter pretty much last year. And then I also have my yearling CRC coming in hot.
Okay. Coming in hot. I know his daddy. His daddy's
Yep.
the impulsive kid. So.
Yep, he was number 1 for weanling colts and halter.
Oh, that's good. Yeah. Did you show him at all the shows, or?
Most of them,
Most of
a majority of them.
Yeah. Where did he? What state did he come from?
He actually came from my barn.
Oh, did he? Okay. Did
Yes.
you guys raise him? Were you the breeders of him?
Yes.
Yeah.
He was bred out of my Bob and I Barbie mare.
Okay. Is she a quarter horse or a POA mare?
Well, she's a POA.
Is she? Okay.
Yeah. She was my first POA.
Oh, she was? Okay.
Yeah.
That's cool. Bob and I'd Barbie. Boy, you ride cool horses' names, Suddenly Scotty
Yeah.
and Bobby. That's cool. So I won't put you on the spot and ask you how she's bred. That's fine. Maybe I'll ask you at a show. When I see you in Tulsa, I'll ask you how she's bred. You can tell me. So one thing I was impressed about, and you're having a great career already in POA as a young career, but I asked your mom for pictures, and she sent me a bunch of pictures. She said she had, a ton
Yeah.
of pictures, but probably over half of them, you weren't alone in the picture. You had friends in the picture, and that tells me a lot about you. That you're easy to get along with, and you have a lot of friends, and that's probably one of the things you like about POA is all the friends you make. So.
Yeah, probably one of my most favorite things about POA is all the people that you meet, because like you meet different people, especially when you go to like different states.
Right.
And then a couple of my closest friends are Macy Shear and Avery Elmore.
Okay.
Macy is from Indiana, and so is Avery.
Oh, okay. Well, you see them the most, probably you show against them the most and see them. So when you do travel around, is it kind of fun to hear like the different accents and even see how people dress? I know like in classes, people got to dress similar, but some people, like out west, some people tuck in their jeans like cowboys and stuff into their boots and stuff. And, and the hats are very different. So by traveling around all over the country, you kind of get to see that.
Yeah.
And even the dialects and the accents are kind of fun. So I have a picture here of you on Scotty, and you're holding hands with the girl. She's on a leopard horse. I don't know which one that is.
That is Avery, I think.
That's Avery. Okay, all right. Yeah, you both look like you're getting ready for games. Maybe, I don't know. So and there you are camping. I know your mom said you kids really like to camp out, and that's a big part of it. So
me and Macy and Avery would either camp in a tent every night if it was warm enough, or we would camp in each other's own trailers.
Right. Yeah. Those good memories.
Yep.
Talking in the trailers, talking about life. And so what kind of music do you like? The modern stuff or?
I like modern country music, and then sometimes rap.
Okay, rap. Okay. If you want to watch me cry, just play some rap music. No, I'm kidding. I'm joking. I'm an old guy. So like, how about Jelly Roll? Do you like Jelly Roll?
Some of his songs.
Some of his songs. Lainey Wilson?
Yeah, I like Morgan Wallen and Luke Combs a lot.
Okay. All right. Yeah, I'm acting like I know who all those people are. No, I do a little bit. So we're just scrolling through pictures here while we talk to you.
My dad likes Lainey Wilson, though.
He likes who?
Lainey Wilson.
Does he? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, she's a good singer.
Yeah,
she was on
pretty
Yellowstone, so that was kind of cool too. You got to see her on Yellowstone. So how long do you, not to put you on the spot, maybe this is a question for your mom, but how long do you plan on showing Scotty? You plan on showing him several more years, or?
Yeah, I think I plan on showing him the rest of my POA career for 14 to 18.
Okay. Wow, that's cool. Yeah. Well, he's a good one for sure. So
yeah.
There's a cool picture. Again, you're holding hands and you're walking away. I call that picture "Friends to the End" because it's the hips of the ponies that are walking away.
That's probably me and Macy.
Yeah. What's her pony?
CRS. Barn name is Maggie.
Okay, that's fine. Barn name's fine. You got a Congress jacket on there, it looks like. So.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, there's some really good pictures of you here. So you like trail and the pattern classes, so I'll put you on the spot. What class do you don't like that much?
Costume.
Costume? Yeah, you gotta do that for High Point though, don't you? Especially like at Congress. Costume. Yeah, that can get hot, and then when they gotta tabulate the points, I'm always like, we need to expedite that. We need to speed that up. because
Yeah.
you guys are out there and you're usually hot, and of course it's in the summer, it's hot, like at the Congress, and there's a lot of kids out there showing in all those costumes, and it could
Yeah,
just
and
be
you
a
just have to
wreck.
sit there for a long time.
You got to sit there. Yeah, it's not fun on the ponies either, but it's fun to watch costume, like in the audience,
Yeah,
like lead line costume, of course,
yeah.
and you
Some
guys,
of those are really,
yeah, it's very
some of those are
clever.
really cute.
Yeah, they're very cute. Yeah. So, well, we're
My
still.
mom makes me do.
What's she make you do?
My mom makes me do costume for the public speaking. For
Oh,
that
really?
was like public speaking. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So, have you given any speeches yet about a POA or about your POA or your experience or anything, like in a speech class or for anything in school?
I was supposed to, but unfortunately it conflicted with a softball game, so I wasn't able to do it.
Okay. That used to be my go-to. Even in college, I did a speech about horses because it was always my fallback. One
Yeah.
time I had a bake, so I made no-bake cookies, and it wouldn't set up good enough, so I kind of got nervous, and I learned a valuable lesson. My teacher told me, when something goes wrong, just keep talking. She goes, because I'm sitting there stirring, and I got my head down. I can remember that
Yeah.
was 30-some years ago, and I still can remember that. Just keep talking your way out of it, she goes. So, yeah, there's a really good picture of you doing a pattern in a pattern class. You have a blue outfit on, a blue shirt, and yep, he's taking a lead there. You're looking ahead. So,
Yeah, I think Ranch, Tennessee, Murfreesboro.
oh, okay, yeah, I recognize the blue seats. I think maybe, yeah. And there you are, getting ready to go over some colored rails, some green, and they're on the ground, flat ground rails. They're blue and red and green, and yeah. Thank your mom for me for sending all these pictures. So that just kind of helps with the podcast. So are you guys going to show as much this year?
No, I think we're gonna slow it down a little bit. So because I'm going into high school
Right.
this coming year,
Yeah.
and I have a lot of basketball practices and sports throughout the
Right.
summer. So I
Right.
have to kind of stay home and be committed to those.
Are you
But I
going to
will
be a
be going.
freshman this year?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
All
I
right.
will be going to probably all of the Indiana shows and maybe a couple of out of the state shows.
Okay. Are you coming to Congress?
What? No.
No, not going to Congress.
No.
Well, that's all
Mom
right.
says maybe the year after that.
Oh, okay. Well, I get it. A lot of times, sometimes the kids show so much their last year, sometimes they take off, you know what I mean? Because it's just,
Yeah.
they've shown so much. And then especially their last year in school or first year in college, they got a lot going on. So are you the
Yeah.
point guard on your basketball team?
Yes,
Are you?
I am.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So you're a born leader, Campbell, aren't you, right? You're a pitcher and
Yeah.
a point guard. So I don't know that much about volleyball. I watched it a lot in high school. I used to go to all the games because they'd go to our football games. So, and we played in PE and stuff, but I don't know much about the different positions. So, of course, all us guys, we always tried to spike it, and we weren't very good at setting up. We just.
Yeah, I just played back row this year.
Did you? Okay.
Yeah, I was too short for the front row.
I didn't know how tall you were. If you like basketball, I was hoping you were
Yeah.
tall, but it don't matter if
No,
you're good.
I'm pretty short.
Are you? Oh, that's
Yeah,
fine.
I'm only 5'2", I think.
Oh, well, you can fire those shots from out there in the perimeter. So,
Yeah, I can.
So what's the name of your high school that you're going to go to?
Washington High School.
Washington High School. Okay. All right. So what's your favorite thing about the state of Indiana?
Probably how we play basketball in Indiana because it's different
The
in
Hoosiers.
Indiana.
Yeah, that's for
Yeah.
sure. Indiana has a proud tradition of basketball. So do you watch college girls basketball, women's basketball?
I actually went to the IU women's game last night.
Did you really?
Yes.
Oh, cool. Did they win?
Yeah, they did. They're
Okay.
going to the Sweet 16.
They're going to the Sweet 16. Okay, cool. I was following Iowa a little bit because of Caitlin or whatever. She's a phenom. So I watched her last year, and when she started really, of course, she's been famous for a while. But whenever you get a star like that, it's fun to watch them.
Yeah.
Do you watch any WNBA?
No, I just kind of stick to the college
Well,
men's basketball, sometimes women's.
Yeah. It's crazy right now, March Madness. So now's the
Yeah,
time.
it is.
So I got a picture up here. I just had it up there. There's Travis. your trainer.
Yeah.
So he was a POA kid too. You knew that, didn't you?
Yep.
That he grew up in Fisk?
Yeah, he's probably the reason how he helped me so much this year with getting everything and winning. He just kind of pushed me to be my best and helped me with Scotty
Right.
whenever I needed it.
Right. Well, that's good. Yeah, I've known him since he was pretty young. I mean, it's not like close friends or anything, but I was already pretty old when him and his sister were showing. So,
Yeah.
and I know Renee and Denny really well from
Yeah,
Indiana.
they're a great family.
They're a great family for sure. Yeah, and they had some great POAs. Wow,
Yes.
they had some good POAs. So, the 2Ds mare they had, and then of course Doc's Foxy Lady, and yeah. So, is there anything you want to add? Anybody you want to give a shout out to? You want to tell your mom and dad how much you love them, or no? I'm just kidding.
Yeah. I love my parents so much for doing everything they did for me this last show season and driving me everywhere. And a big shout out to Travis Fortune and Gabby Fortune for helping me throughout the season.
That's cool.
And all my friends, because I probably couldn't show and be there without them.
Right, that's what makes it fun, right? If you didn't know the people at all, it'd kind of be boring. So, do you ride at 4-H shows too, like at the state show or anything? Yeah.
Yeah, I show 4-H pigs, horses, and dogs.
Really?
Yep.
Dogs? What kind of dogs do you show?
I have a mini Aussie. His name is Dooley.
Oh, what's his name?
Dooley,
like a
truck.
truck, like a dual wheels. Cool.
He's a toy-sized mini, so he's really small. So we gave him a big dog name.
Oh wow. My dog Swayze and Dooley probably wouldn't. They'd get along, but he's like a boxer pit bull cross. He was a rescue. Yeah. I seen him at a festival in downtown, and he was in a cage. And I'm like, I want to get him out of the cage. And they're like, we got to do a background check on you. I'm like, well, here's my fingerprints. And I started getting my wallet out because I'm like, I just want him out of that cage. I was like a little kid. I'm like, I don't want him in there anymore because he was looking at me. You know how that's what they say. They kind of speak to you. So
yeah.
And then, of course, my wife has an older dog named Harley. She's about 14, and then she got a puppy in Illinois at the Futurity, even though I told her not to. Some of the POA people ganged up on me and told me she was the pick of the litter, and they just kept trying to get me to. She was tiny, like 7.5 weeks old, so her name's Stella. So you may see her at a show in the next couple years. So.
Yep.
Yeah, I think it's a smart idea to maybe not show as much this year since you're entering a new age group, you know what I mean? And it's going to be a little tougher and just show in Indiana. And then when you're like 15, come back and get them. You still can show a lot in your area. You have a lot of shows all over there. So
we just got to kind of cut back and figure each other out some more so we can come back and kick butt.
Right, get some of those Congress trophies. That's what your next goal needs to be. Did you win any Congress classes at your first one? That would have been remarkable. No, well, that's fine. I mean, that would have been like, wow. I probably would have been interviewing you last fall if you would have did that. So
I was like 6th, 7th. I was 6th, 7th, 8th, and 9th a bunch of times.
There's some good competition there too,
There is.
Yeah, a lot of great. Some of those pins, like Senior Western and stuff. I mean, the top 10 are who's who of ponies. They're all known from different kids and stuff over the years, and so. All right, well, unless you got something to add, or if your mom wanted to pitch in and say anything, or.
Oh, thank you so much for having her on the show. She's been really looking forward to this.
Well, she did a great job. You got a great young lady there, so that means you and Kyle must be. What's that?
Costume classes come in handy. All those public speaking.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Mom's always right.
Yeah, I'm judging more now, and I really love those classes. That's one of the highlights of the day. Of course, I was a breeder, so I like the halter classes, and then showmanship. I'm not a big showmanship person, but I get it. But costume is so fun because you get to hear these stories, and some of these guys get like you probably do. You just get lost. In a good way. You just tell the story, and you completely change. It's like you're really playing a character, and it's cool. POAs is cool in a lot of ways. It gives you a lot of background and fundamentals to go on to life. So when you move to Arizona someday as a professional, so So
Yeah.
I got you, Megan. I got her moving to Arizona and becoming a politician. I don't know if you like my influence or
We
not.
had a hard time getting her back home to Indiana after that.
Well, Arizona is beautiful,
It was.
in the whole Western United. Not that Indiana's not, Indiana's a beautiful state, and is the
It's just
Hoosier
different.
state.
Yeah,
She
it's
likes
different.
basketball, but it's different. Yeah, even Oklahoma, down here compared to where I grew up is way different. I mean, this part of Oklahoma's flat. It's the wheat capital of the United States, and there's not a lot of trees. I forgot the musical about the wind whipping through the plains or whatever, and the music so the wind's it's still bad down here. I'm not used to that, but yeah. Well, you'll travel more as you grow up too, and you'll get to see other places. Who knows? But
Yeah.
your mom and dad may want to keep you in Indiana, so
We probably do.
yeah.
We like her.
Or you can retire them, when you get a really good job, just retire your parents someday. They can move down. That's where the older
We
people
just move her
retire.
to the basement wherever she moves.
Yeah,
We'll
just
just follow her.
follow her around.
We'll
So
bring her little brother along too.
No thanks.
yeah, bring Cash along. We can't forget Cash. So you guys got good name kids too, Campbell and Cash. You did a good job there. So
Thank you.
so you guys are probably quite a bit younger than me because I was looking at your names, Kyle and Megan. I said, well, the folks are a lot younger than me, and now I'm going to interview their daughter. You know what I mean? Sometimes I'm out of touch with kids, but it's fun to interview these young people and hear everything they got going. They sure got to balance a lot of stuff, Megan, Campbell.
Do.
I mean, you got to
It'll make them
balance.
successful adults.
Right,
being
because
able
that's what life's all
Take
about.
on
Like,
these opportunities.
yeah, that's what it's all about, balancing stuff and doing as much as you can, but having fun doing it. So, and by these pictures,
Absolutely.
it looks like you're having fun. So,
Yep.
yeah, well, so
We have the best time, and that's the main reason we joined POA was just because we wanted to meet people her age that she could have fun with. And we haven't been to a show that we haven't had the best time ever with the best people.
well, that's
And
cool.
we're going to be POA people for life. We've made lifelong friendships. Got a
Well,
great circle of people.
that's cool. And now you got a yearling that you got.
Yes.
So, yeah, he's a
Yep.
high point in the nation. That's big time already. So,
Travis better be ready to break that one out here in a
Yeah.
couple of years.
yeah, Travis better get him going. So, that's right. All right, guys. Well, thank you again, Megan, for letting Campbell come on here. I always have to get the parents' permission, of course. And Campbell, thank you so
problem.
much.
Thank you for having me.
Yep, you're a great guest, and good luck showing this year. And I'm sure I'll meet you in person somewhere down the road. So,
Thank
Looking
you.
forward to it. Thank you.
all right, see you guys. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye. All right, so that was my guest, Campbell Cornelius from Indiana, and her mother, Megan, there. Got on the phone. Sounds like a really nice family. I think I probably did see them in Indiana at the convention, possibly. But I love interviewing the young people. It's just so fun to hear everything. Man, I need to go drink a Monster after listening to everything she accomplishes, in life, playing softball, volleyball, basketball, 4-H, showing pigs and dogs, let alone being number one in the nation, High Point. So cool life there. And that's funny, she liked Arizona. That's why I always like asking questions like, what's your favorite event or different things. Found out she really likes the state of Arizona. That was a cool trip for her. I know that was towards the end of the year. First time she's ever been there. I've never even been to Arizona, growing up in Minnesota, and actually I was born in California. If I was in Arizona, I don't remember it. So I look forward to going there someday, judging in the state of Arizona. So I knew it was going to be a quick show tonight, but we're going to talk about our sponsor here. So, you win over people on a podcast when you have cute pictures. So Campbell had some cute pictures, and now our sponsor tonight is Bruns Performance Horses. And there's young Stetson. He's fourth generation POA. His great-grandmother, Lee Rupplinger, of course, was in POAs, raised her two daughters and kids in the POAs. And then Amy raised her daughter Sammy in POAs, and now Sammy's in Iowa as a professional trainer, doing a great job, and raising her son there, Stetson. That's just a cool picture there, high-fiving the judge, I'm guessing. And then Bruns Performance Horses wanted to thank all our customers. So we have hopefully I don't tear up these names too bad, but Contreras family, Tammy Verzi and Jackie Guthrie, Terry Thorson, and Robin Krogman are some of her customers. So we're going to flip through some pictures here. Of course, there's Terry and Sammy with his filly that did so well last year. So Sammy just don't show the performance horses and help coach kids. She also shows young stock and conditions as well. So that's cool. We need that in POAs. We need conditioners and trainers and coaches and all that stuff. So again, she wants to thank her customers, and tonight's show was sponsored by Bruns Performance Horses of Iowa. We do have sponsors lined up for the next several weeks, next several episodes, so that's always cool. And speaking of that, the next show will be on 4/2. That'll be next Tuesday. That'll be show number 80, and that's going to be the Schuylkill Valley POAC. It just got reinstated, and their president, Terry Troutman Strauss, who she also grew up in POAs in Pennsylvania, she's going to be our special guest that night. Lexi Lou Designs, of course, Lexi Yu from Arizona. She's going to be the sponsor that night. And then the next week, 2 weeks from tonight, we'll be talking about the Northwest region. And our guest that night, special guest, will be Tracy Filla, who's the Northwest Regional Director. So that'll be cool. I believe Jan Rogers is going to be the sponsor of that show because Tracy's had some POAs connected with Jan from Jan's program. April 16th is the last show I have scheduled out right now, and that show is going to be about Kevin Jewell. We're going to have a conversation with him. He's going to be our guest. Of course, Kevin is a great horseman, pretty famous horse person in several different arenas, and he grew up in POAs, him and his brother Chris. Their dad Aaron was a really good auctioneer from Iowa and had some POAs. We'll show some throwback pictures of like Circle J's Hawkeye Joe was one of their early stallions, and then do some of the stuff. Kevin came down to Oklahoma and was a trainer in POAs. Of course, he showed Royal Exhibit, and now he's a famous judge and a reining trainer. So he's been on TV and everything. So TC POAs, Tracy Sweet Keen will be the sponsor that night. So again, I want to thank Bruns Performance Horses for tonight, and then we have 3 sponsors coming up. And then I have a lot of dates here. I don't have a lot of stuff down yet. The Cutest Foal contest is coming up. That'll be in June, so get ready for that. I know I'm seeing some pretty foals already, some cute babies. Remember, it's not a halter contest. The last 2 judges were not POA people. They were both horse people of different degrees. One was a shower but had nothing to do with POAs. The other one was just a horse lover who'd owned some trail riding horses for a long part of her life, and she judged it last year. So I don't get POA people or professional judges. It's a cuteness deal. So just remember with the background and everything on that. I've already seen some that I really like, and I have no input with it. I just show them the pictures, and I don't tell them who it is or anything. I tell them the name. Sometimes I tell them the name of the horse, the barn name, if it's provided to me. So then Ella from Edmond, she's going to be one of our special guests coming up. So she'll be one of our youngest guests we've had. She'll be in studio here probably in April or so. We're going to have an episode with the Spencer family. It's just coordinating all the schedules. There'll be an in-person studio. We'll show the studio a little bit here. You know, we have a couch over there that we can seat 2 people, 3 if you really love each other. And then, of course, we got the Jackson sign there. So come join the family, of course. And then we want to give a big round of applause for Campbell for winning the High Point Pony on her pony, Suddenly Scotty, and for being a great guest tonight. Remember, get your sponsorships in for the National Congress. The 66th Annual National Show is in Tulsa again this year, and we're getting close to the end on sponsorships. We still got a lot left, though, so if you just want to sponsor something, we'll pick it for you, or if you want to pick a class that was one of your favorite classes, or somebody you knew or loved won a class, you want to sponsor that, that'll work too. But the list is getting down there from 226 down to about 60 some or 70 some classes left now. So, and you can pledge right now in March and not pay until May 20th. So, or you can send a check to the POA Club and get it in the bank for POAC as well. It works either way. So again, I want to thank sponsor Bruns Performances Horses in Iowa. Thank the Corneliuses, Megan and Kyle, for letting their daughter Campbell be on the show. And thanks to Cash for letting us talk about you a little bit. That's Campbell's little brother. And Suddenly Scotty, their POA. They also have a young one coming up, an impulsive kid, yearling that won High Point in the nation last year. So that was cool. I knew this would be a short and sweet show. Last week was a little long. Some of these shows are 2 hours. Some of them are half an hour. So it just kind of helps mix it up a little bit. So thank you everybody for watching, and tune in next week. This was episode 13 of the year. I haven't missed a Tuesday yet. I just shook the camera by knocking on the desk, but I haven't missed a week yet. So consistency helps, but you know, it is hard to do this every week. And like I say, sometimes I got to contact 3 or 4 people to get an episode. It's just the schedules and everything. I got to push it back or move it forward to get it to work. So I'm glad this one worked out, and we'll see you next week talking about the Schuylkill Valley POAC and from Pennsylvania out there. So that'll be our topic next week. Thanks everyone for watching. Enjoy the song.
My BFF is a BFF.